to Just Minding My Business Radio, where we are moving at the speed of God, learning what we didn't know we didn't know. I'm your host, Ida Crawford.
And I'm your co-host, Ruth Haskins.
So grab a pen and paper and get ready for information that you can use.
In this perfect day, we hope you open your eyes to all the good that is present. Today, we continue a series of interviews of contributing authors from the upcoming anthology release, Drop the Mask, Share the Crown, inspired by the visionary author Dawn Leek, who is herself an international author, speaker, and 4 times best-selling author. Today, we welcome Sheila Farr, who is a 4-time best-selling author, business strategist, and teacher, with a reputation for serving others with pure enthusiasm. The object of her profession is to help struggling business owners overcome obstacles and achieve their biggest dreams. Sheila is the proud CEO of Gulf Coast Training and Education Services, LLC, in Biloxi, Mississippi. She is changing the world one business at a time. Now she's also part of the soon-to-be-released anthology, Drop the Mask, Share the Crown. Welcome, Sheila.
Hi, how are you both this evening?
How are you?
Very good.
I'm fabulous. So excited to be here. Thank you for having me back.
Yes, indeed. Good. It's good. Always good to see you. You know, you're my sunshine. So tell us how you got started with your business.
Oh, my business. Well, I'll tell you, it's one of those things where you're working that corporate 9 to 5 and you just realize that it doesn't fit you anymore. So one day I just realized that I was doing a lot of helping people outside of work, just doing business plans for other people, kind of looking at their marketing plans and helping them turn their businesses around. And all of my friends are like, man, you should really be doing this on your own. You should do this. Like, this should be your job. And I was working in medical management at the time and having a blast doing it. But actually, honestly, you'll always hear me say this. This is the way that God works. He gives you that little holy push sometimes and gets you out of your comfort zone and into those uncomfortable places that really allow you to grow. And that's what happened to me. Our organization was sold. Our private physical therapy practice was sold to a corporate entity. So honestly, my position changed a little bit and it allowed me to do some more things. So I started my own business on the side, just started doing it in the evenings and on weekends. And 4 years later, here we are, Gulf Coast Training and Education Services. So that's how we got started.
All righty now. That is all right. And usually I like what you said, the holy push. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what it is for some of us.
Right. Because I never would have done it otherwise. I would have, I'm comfortable just sitting there collecting that direct deposit that comes on a regular basis. And I never dreamed, that I would get out and do anything for my own or anything different than that. But it's been a huge, huge blessing. And Dawn laughs at me all the time because I tell her, man, I'm just having so much fun. I'm having such a good time, just enjoying the people that we meet and the things that we do. And honestly, I think I'm able to help more people this way because especially in the past year, we've gone international with some things. So it's been honestly just a huge, huge blessing for us.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes. That is so wonderful. We got Bobby doing a shout out. Hey, Bobby.
Hey, Bobby.
And here she is again. Exactly. The holy push. I'm going to be using that. I like that.
I like that too. Yeah. Sometimes we need it.
Yes, we do.
Definitely.
Yes, we do. So let's talk a little bit about Drop the Mask and Share the Crown.
Yes.
What
So
excited. Your chapter. Give us a little sneak peek.
Sure. So the title of my chapter is Being Different Than the World. So, and what it talks about, honestly, overall, is really just that, being different than the world. We live in a world that there are all kinds of, prejudices of all sorts. So I think a big part of what I would like to share, and is just a bit of encouragement to have, especially parents and communities and aunts and uncles and everybody that has an opportunity to be an influence to a young child, to teach them better. I really believe, I hear it a lot, when you know better, you should do better. And I do believe that. And I really just think that, we were called for a specific purpose, and we were called for a mission. And when we're excluding people and talking negatively about people and really being roadblocks and stumbling blocks for other people, we're not working and walking in our mission. So really it's a little bit about that. So it kind of talks about some experiences I had as a young child that caused me to start putting masks on. Then how, as a young adult, my eyes were kind of open to some things that allowed me to start taking masks off and encouraging people to kind of do some things differently.
Wow. That's going to be an excellent read, because I think we've all had masks, and it all starts from childhood, because whatever mask our parents was wearing, of course, they're going to pass the mask down to us until we get out into the world and see differently. Mm-hmm. Definitely. It's definitely important that that we all take these masks off, because they're not serving us.
No.
None of us.
No.
When you walk around being something that you're not, it's hard. It doesn't feel right.
Right. Well, it's unnecessary. It's unnecessary. We're all humans put here to live and to serve, and we may as well do it together and collaboratively, helping each other, as opposed to tearing each other down and apart. To me, that never has made sense. Thankfully, my parents raised me to believe that, everybody deserves love, respect, and kindness. But I think all of us have a story where we didn't receive that from somebody at some point in our lives. And it caused us to really stop and think about things. Sometimes it makes us conform to the world a little bit more, because we don't want to stand out, when holy moly, the Lord made us to stand out. So we the things that we ought to be really celebrating, the differences, and the individuality that we each have, that gets squelched oftentimes. And I think that's unfortunate, because honestly, that's the joy of living, is just being able to be authentic and walk in your purpose and do what the Lord called you to do. And we spend our whole lives. I'm 56 years old, and man, I can tell you, I've spent the better part of my life trying to get to this point right here, which I should have been at a long time ago, because I should have started that way. We should start that way and be able to live just happy and in our purpose, without trying to be people pleasers or conform to what society tells us we should be, do, or look like. So I'm pretty thankful that it's, I've had the process that I've had, because now it gives me an opportunity to kind of see it in other people and bring them out of it. So it's really, it's a neat thing. That's why I love this book so much, because there's all the stories, while they're, again, also similar, they're all very different, because we've all had those different experiences. But we all agree that it's time to move past a lot of junk that happens in our lives and in society, and just, love each other and help each other. That's what we're here for.
Exactly. And it's a much better feeling.
Yes.
Anytime that you do something nice for somebody, it does something to them, and it also does something to you.
Absolutely.
It's a really good vibration, exchange of vibrations. You know what I mean? It's just a wonderful feeling.
Yeah.
And when you have to be mean to somebody, it doesn't make you feel good. Mm-hmm. You don't have a good feeling. Mm-hmm. And so why even do it?
Because we've been trained to do it. We've been trained to send out negativity and negative vibrations, and we do it as a protection, quote unquote, a protection, but it's not. It is not. And that's the beauty, again, of the title of this anthology, Dropping the Mask. We're talking about becoming authentic. All the masks that we've been trained from, sometimes before we're even born, we're already handed all types of masks. And then once we're born, we're told to wear them. And we do, because the hands that feed us are the hands that we're going to listen to. Right. We're not capable of taking care of ourselves. And by the time that we realize that we're uncomfortable wearing that mask, sometimes it's late in life. Mm-hmm. We finally say, this is not me. This is not who I want to be. And guess what? I don't know who I am. So now it comes the time of exploration. And again, that's when you start dropping all the masks. And the older you get, the less you care. You're less afraid to tell people what they think about who you're supposed to be. And then you're more willing, you're in the space to share the crown, because you want everyone to feel good and feel good about themselves. You know, have that joy of waking up in the morning and saying, it's me. I like me. I love me. It's going to be a beautiful day.
Right. Exactly.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Sheila, for sharing. You'll be right back, but we're going to keep it moving for the moment and
thank you.
Bring up our next guest. So thank you so much, Sheila.
Thank you very much.
Sheila Sunshine. Okay, Ruthie. Who do we have up next?
We have Tonya Williams, who is an entrepreneur, author, life coach, seminarian, and podcaster. Her motto is teamwork makes the dream work. To that end, she helps young women to apply biblical principles and practical life methods to achieve personal greatness through her personally founded mentorship program, GRACE, Girls Rising Above Challenging Experiences. While helping others to become the best version of themselves, Tonya also wrote her first book entitled The Best Version of Me. Now she is part of the soon-to-be-released anthology, Drop the Mask, Share the Crown. Welcome, Tonya.
Thank you, ladies, so much for having me.
Thank you for being here. Another sunshine. Love your hair, beautiful.
Thank you.
So tell us about your business. I'm loving what I'm hearing already.
Well, I actually started out in ministry, and as I was going through school, I just kept praying and asking God, okay, God, what are you going to do with this? And all I heard was outside four walls, and I actually laughed because I thought, this must be some sick joke, because I just really figured out how inside the church works. Now you want me to go outside. But, we all know that God doesn't give us all the pieces to the puzzle. He either gives us the beginning or the end, because it's in the middle. If he showed us that, we would quit, because that's where all the hard work really begins. So long story short, my husband's in the entertainment industry. And so we spend a lot of weekends in the club, and people just are drawn to me, and they'll come up and they'll share their stories with me. And the moment I would tell them I was in ministry, it's just like they would just back away from me, and they really didn't want to talk to me anymore. And I was just like so upset by that, because I was like, I love helping people. What is it? And so I really started talking to people, and they're like, well, a lot of people feel judged, or they've had church hurt and things like that. So I thought about it, and I was like, well, I can relate to that. I've been judged and I've had church hurt. And so I began to pray, and, I never liked to speak. Imagine that. But I used to be like really shy. And so God started giving me those little pieces of the puzzle with the podcast. And I think that's how he got me used to talking behind the scenes, where they could hear my voice, but it created a way for me to be comfortable with actually being a speaker. So that's really how I became a life coach, because now people, when I deal with those same people, they're like, oh, a life coach, tell me about that. That's interesting. And they don't pull away from me anymore. So that was that little piece of the puzzle that he used with that outside four walls that I've used to actually help apply biblical principle to people and help them in the same way.
Yes. And that's amazing, because a lot of times people will shun away when you start to talk about biblically. Get that out. But the minute you start talking about inside out type stuff, they seem to be more drawn to that. Even though, to me as a life coach, that is definitely in realm with what God wants you to do, because he wants you to help people to live better from the inside out. He really does. And that's what I saw, because I remember when I first started in the coaching arena, the first thing my mom said was, I don't hear no Jesus in there. That's exactly what she said. But then after she saw me changing because of what I was doing, working from the inside out, she began to see a little bit better on, how it is related spiritually.
Yeah.
And you don't necessarily have to come to people with an actual verse from the Bible, but you can start there and lead them in that direction, and they'll be more receptive to it.
And oftentimes, even when we provide them with a verse or a scripture, they really don't know what to do with it. So I find that if we share our life experiences and we're just real and relatable, that's how we're going to reach people.
Absolutely. Got a shout out from Bobby.
Hey, Bobby.
No, I just saying that, that's so important. Like just the way that we have conversations here, the best way to approach people is to start a conversation, find a common ground. And then sometimes you can interlace Bible principles. They may not recognize it at first, but they hear something that is good for them. It's what they needed to hear. Maybe they needed a word of comfort. Maybe they needed to know that in all the craziness that's going on, there is something better. There's, they can have a better life, even amidst all this craziness. And if you can bring the Bible principles into it, then that's what they hear. And that's what they grab hold to. And then they're going to want to hear more. It's like having a good meal. Someone gives you a taste of something that you don't know what it is, but it tastes really good. Then you want more. You're willing to sit down at the table and enjoy the entire feast. And that's what the Bible is like. It's like having a movable feast, able to eat what you need and really get nourished from it. So I admire you for the work that you're doing.
Well, thank you so much.
How do you translate that into your organization, Grace?
Basically the same way. Grace was actually formed years prior, before I even got into ministry. I love helping young girls and women, and that was just another piece of the puzzle that God gave me prior to ministry. Starting a mentorship to help young girls and women, and really it's just to help them in the areas of how to dress for an interview, the questions you should ask and how to answer, how to budget with money and things like that, things to prepare them stepping into adulthood that maybe they don't have that foundation at home, and just really just being a mentor and somebody positive in their life, because not every young lady has someone in their life to fulfill those things.
Okay.
Wow. That's awesome. That is awesome. So tell us about your chapter in Drop the Mask and Share the Crown.
Well, the name of my chapter is Heavy is the Head That Wears the Crown. Everybody wants the crown, but they really don't realize how much work goes into it and the heaviness of it. So I talk a little bit of some of my experiences in the life coaching arena, in the speaking arena, and some of the pettiness in the I guess maybe the competition behind it. And then I go into sharing also how if you collaborate with people, just like how much you get out of that if you collaborate with the right people. So in order to get to that part, I had to share the pieces that were not so glamorous in order to get to the part about the collaboration. But I think it's something that everybody needs to hear, because even though we all may be in the same arena or somehow connected, there's still room for us all to thrive and eat well. There's no need for us to compete or, sabotage one another or any kind of jealousy or things like that. So I'm all about teamwork makes the dream work. So I think, if I collaborate with you, your people become my people and my people become your people. So it just grows into this really big thing, and it's a win-win for everybody.
Yes, absolutely. I'm a weebie too. I believe in collaboration wholeheartedly, because I know that I don't know everything. I can't think about everything. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I really don't want to. And I like to have that energy around me that helps me grow. And it's just so important. No man is an island. And like I always say, since the day you were born, you were never by yourself. You never did everything by yourself. You will never do everything by yourself. It's impossible.
And I think we're better together, because
yes,
the areas that I lack, you know, that may be a talent or gift for you. And, you know, we just feed off of one another's energy or our differences or whatever it may be.
Yes, and it's fun. It's actually a fun when you're collaborating with people, and it's just, before you know it, hours have passed, and you don't even think about time, because you're having such a great time in the moment. And that's what I love about collaboration. It's like, you know, it's fun, actually. It's fun. You learn something. It's just a beautiful place to be. Yeah. It really is a beautiful place to be. So, Tonya, we really appreciate you sharing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Your business, through Just Minding My Business Media, has exposure on internet radio, major social media platforms, and now TV. Through Just Minding My Business, dynamic digital marketing platform. Don't listen to the word on the street. Hear it for yourself. Visit jmb.assistercircle.org to learn how you can take your business, your vision, to the next level. Voiceovers by RCH VoiceWorks, for when you want to be heard. Call 443-620-4115.
Thank you for tuning in to Just Minding My Business Radio. I'm your host, Ida Crawford.
And I'm your co-host, Ruth Haskins.
We hope you enjoyed the show and appreciate you stopping by. Many blessings to you and yours.